Did you know that earlier this year, General Motors started up their own venture capital arm? I think a $200 million little cash and money there that they're going to be going out and finding other companies with interesting technologies to invest in. Right now, we have it from LA, the Executive Vice President of Corporate Strategy from one of those companies, actually the first one to get any money from General Motors, Michael Brylawski from Bright Automotive, maker of or hopefully a maker of an electric van. Mike, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Listen, just want to real quick before we start talking about the vehicle itself, do want to get in a little more about the actual relationship between your company and General Motors. I understand they've invested about $5 million in the company, or going to, but what's it beyond that? I mean, is there going to be R&D cooperation between the two companies? What's going to be going on between GM and Bright Automotive?
Well, sure. Well, first, for those of you who don't know about Bright Automotive, we are an Indiana-based automaker, a startup akin like to Tesla and Fisker. But our focus is on the commercial fleet market, and our purpose is to deliver economic and efficiency solutions to business and government customers. And so part of what we've done is we've shown a concept vehicle called the Bright Idea, which is a plug-in hybrid work truck that aims to have the lowest total cost of ownership to that segment. With General Motors, we were the first funded entity from GM Ventures. It's small seed funding. We also are starting a strategic relationship. And right now, it's really like a crawl, walk, run. We're in the crawl stage. We got, again, a small seed fund from GM Ventures. And as well, we've committed to use GM engines and transmissions as part of our vehicle and GM parts. And that's where we are today.
Now, also understand you've been looking to get a $450 million loan from the Department of Energy as part of this as well. How close and how realistic is the Bright Idea to going into production?
Well, in terms of the Department of Energy, this is a part of that $25 billion green factory fund that's funded automakers including Ford and Nissan, Tesla and Fisker. That fund actually hasn't committed any money out of that loan program since last year, since last October. There's about $15 billion remaining. We're one of many applicants that are looking for funding. We're feeling pretty good. We can't comment on specifics of our application. But we actually anticipate there's going to be more conditional commitments coming out of that over the next few months.
Very interesting vehicle. I think we have a picture of it. The Bright, it's the Bright Idea. It works very much like the Chevy Volt. You got a plug-in electric motor. You can go 40 miles or so, and then after that, a small internal combustion engine charges you the rest of the way. Now, does it work like the Volt? Do you go electric to internal combustion, or when you go into internal combustion mode, does it jump back and forth between electric and internal combustion, more like a regular hybrid?
Well, that's a great question. It is a plug-in hybrid vehicle, so it does have all-electric range. Ours is almost 40 miles, a little bit less, about 38. And then after that, it goes into a conventional hybrid mode, sort of like a Prius, where it gets around 35 miles per gallon. So in that sense, it's similar to the Volt. We are employing a different drive system strategy. We're doing something called for the hybrid geeks out there, it's called a parallel road-coupled architecture. So the architecture of our hybrid system is very different than the Volt, but simply our architecture we feel is very appropriate for this market segment. It has a lot of advantages like all-wheel drive and a lot of robustness because the front of the vehicle has a conventional yet small four-cylinder engine and transmission, and the rear axle is an electric, pretty much a pure electric drive. And so we think actually for this segment, it's really a perfect application of a drive system.
What do you think you're going to be able to sell something like this for, price-wise?
Yeah, well, actually, so we're looking actually to bring this to market in the next 3 to 4 years. So really way too early to talk about price. But I think what's important about that question, and this pertains to a lot of electrified vehicles, is it's not just all about the upfront price. I mean, really, a very few select people, are fortunate to go to the dealer and put cash down and buy the vehicle up front. Most people, including the bulk of our market, pay by the month. They have a monthly payment. So our goal and our objective is to have a lower monthly payment for our customers when you consider all their costs, including fuel, as well as the vehicle. In fact, compared to some of the vehicles that are operating today, we're targeting upwards of 20 to 30% lower cost per month.
Interesting looking aerodynamics on this. Actually, a little reminiscent of a Mercedes concept we saw a couple of years ago, the Bionic car, which used sort of ape the hydrodynamics of a fish called the box fish. Does your car just look the same, or is it used sort of the same principles of aerodynamics there?
Yeah, the fish comparison is new, but actually we worked with the former chief aerodynamicist of Boeing, in fact, to help develop the aerodynamics of this vehicle. And it's really one of the differentiators of our approach, which is for an electrified vehicle, one of the first things you want to do is actually make what we call the platform efficient. In other words, make it aerodynamic, make it lightweight, focus on the rolling resistance of the tires, so it takes less energy to propel the vehicle. And if it takes less energy to propel the vehicle, you need a smaller battery pack, and ultimately that makes the car more affordable. So aerodynamics, as you noted, are very key to our product.
All right, Mike Brylawski, Executive Vice President of Corporate Strategy for Bright Automotive. Thanks for talking to us today. Looking forward to taking this for a spin. Next time one comes through New York, you're going to be bringing a prototype through here anytime soon?
No, but anyone, if you want to come to Anderson, Indiana, and come visit us, we'll take you in a spin.
I'll go do that and check out the Indy 500 next summer. Well, that's too far away. We want to drive it before that. All right. Anyway, thanks again. We're going to take a quick commercial break now, and then right after that, Matt Farah from thesmokingtire.com, and we're going to be talking supercars.